Man, go home. That song.
What?
Stuck in my
Stuck
head.
in your head?
Yes.
now? Oh, not bad.
Okay. So we talked about this. We were kind of recapping where to put the blue signals at. Mechanical department is going to be each lead locomotive, derails, placed no less than 50. We know that. Car shop, derails. I mean, not derails, but switch is locked and the track's flagged up for each track. Main track, we're going to attach a blue signal at the end of the train, each end of the train, and one on the locomotive. That's how it's got to be. We do not apply derails on the main line. Ever. For obvious reasons. You get the human equation involved, and we forget to take it off, and then you have a train roll over that at 50 or 70 miles an hour. Catastrophic. Distributed power. Everybody know what distributed power is? We call them a DPU. And I'm sure you've probably seen them on the tracks. Have an engine on the rear. This engine communicates with this one via radio link. So whatever this one does, you know, you can have this one follow suit.
How would they communicate? Would they communicate with one of those boxes, or is it the MU cable? That
No, it's not the MU cable. It's a radio
it is radio?
frequency. Yeah. Now, there's a couple different ways they do that. Some systems, the lead locomotive will actually have what they call a Harris box. We call it a Harris box. And it's a box it's kind of like this right here, that head end box, a little more detailed than that. But you can take it in and put it in, take it out, do what you want to do. Other locomotives have it built into the computer system. So but it doesn't matter. I mean, one does just what the other one does. Okay.
Would mechanical like set that up before you?
Usually, if you're in a area that has mechanical folks, when they inspect the train, they will, we call it link it up.
Okay, so we conductors won't have to.
Well, you might.
Might.
It depends on where you're at. Now, conductor, I doubt it. The engineer, yes, he's supposed to know how to do all that. Okay. Where do you place blue signals on the DP? I'll tell you, most of your carmen will place a blue signal on the DP when they are inspecting the train. And the reason they do that, you say, well, you just said the lead locomotive. The reason they'll do that with a DPU is because while that train is flagged up, a couple of other mechanical guys might show up and start linking the DPU with the leader, linking it up. Okay. Well, part of the link process is to make small moves on the train. So say if I put this in forward, there's a guy on the back here that makes sure that this thing is linked up correctly and it's actually pushing forward. You see what I'm saying? So the carmen don't want anybody messing with that while they're out there doing their thing. That's kind of like the flag you saw out at Lenexa Yard, except theirs was white, probably, wasn't it?
Faded blue.
Faded.
It was white.
Oh, it was white?
Okay. Yeah. But you know what? They all mean the same thing. Portable derail. You can see which way it takes you.
Desktop.
That's probably SD70 motor or there. Is it? You can ask him. He'll probably know.
That's the desktop almost like a Cadillac.
Okay. It's got the big captain's chairs in there. They're just giving you an example of blue flag in the inside of a locomotive. Now, some railroads, the Carmen, they have them put their ID there. A lot of railroads don't. UP doesn't. It really doesn't matter. All you need to know is that it's blue flagged. It doesn't matter who the Carmen is. Now, what this does from here on out, it kind of changes gears from blue signal protection to now we're going to talk about utility employees. Okay? A utility employee is a trainman, a conductor qualified trainman, and he bids in a job called utility employee if they have them available. Usually, you take a place as big as Argentine, they probably have a shift or a day's worth of utility employees, meaning one per shift. And I'm just guessing at that. And all a utility employee does is whatever the yardmaster tells him to do. Okay? You report to work for your shift, 8-hour shift. You kind of sit downstairs in the office and drink coffee. Yardmaster needs you to help another train do something, he'll call you. Yeah, go out there to track 3 and let's help this guy double over, right? That's kind of what a utility employee does. He can attach himself to a crew and help them with some work. And he can legitimately do that because he is a trainman. He's a qualified conductor. All right, so let's talk about this, Brewski.
This rule outlines the requirements for allowing utility employees to work without blue signal protection. As used in this rule, a utility employee is a railroad employee assigned as a temporary member of a train or yard crew. Requirements to start work. A utility employee may work as a member of only one train or yard crew at a time. No more than 3 utility employees may work with one train or yard crew at the same time.
So he's a temporary member of a crew. You can only have a utility employee work with one train at a time. You don't want him dividing his attention among 2 or 3 trains. And you can only have a maximum of 3 utility employees on one train. You won't ever have to worry about that one because they're not going to have that many jobs on. Okay? It's kind of wasteful anyway. All right, so if I'm going to be a temporary member of a crew, how do I do that? What's the process for me attaching myself to a crew? Yes, sir.
Don't you need to conduct a job briefing?
That's right. And that's part of this right here. So you take off when you're ready.
A utility employee may become a member of a train or yard crew under the following conditions. The utility employee communicates with the designated crew member of the train or yard crew before starting work. Communication may be conducted verbally or by radio. The designed crew member identifies the utility employee to each member of the crew. Each crew member acknowledges the utility employee's presence. The designated crew member authorizes the utility employee to work as a temporary member of the crew.
How do I become a member of a crew? 3-step process. First of all, I'm going to communicate with the designated employee of the train. Who do you think I'm going to be talking to? The conductor. He's in charge of the train, right? So I'm going to say, yeah, conductor on the NARS 1, 2, 3, 4. This is Brown. And I'm going to attach myself to your train, right? So I'm going to make commo with it. Now the conductor has to identify to the rest of the crew that I'm going to be helping. That's the first thing. And last but not least, that conductor has to authorize me to work with this train. Okay? So yes, it is possible for me to get this old crusty conductor that's got an attitude problem, that's been on duty for 10 hours, that's got work to do when he gets in the yard. I go up to him and say, yeah, conductor, gonna attach myself to your train, help you do your set out. He could come back and say, no, you're not. I'll take care of it myself. If he does that, there's not a thing anybody can do about it. He's the conductor of the train, right? Now for you, as a utility guy, no skin off your back. Just take your coffee and go drink more coffee, right? You know, it's kind of like one of them things, ow, 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 you're really hurting me, right? And going back to the office out of the 10-degree weather. All right, so now you're on the crew. What do you got to make sure of before you do the work, Tyler?
Before a utility employee may work on, under, or between rolling equipment, the following applies. All members of the crew must communicate with each other to understand the work to be done. The engineer must be in the cab of the assigned controlling locomotive. However, another member of the same crew may replace the engineer with the locomotive when the locomotive is stationary.
Here's kind of a scenario. It's not the way it happens, but one way that this stuff will happen. Let's say you have a train that has 100 cars on it. Okay. You come into the yard. Well, the tracks you're going to go in, it won't hold your whole train. Maybe they only hold 50 cars, right? So the yard master will make you do what we call a double over. So you call him and you say, yeah, yard master, this is NARS 1234, coming in, where do you want me? And he might tell you something like, yeah, bring your train in track 2 and double the head 40 cars over to track 3, right? That's a legal move because you will not fit into one track, okay? So the utility guy comes out, he makes contact, he's on the crew now. You know, he'll tell the conductor, all right, yeah, conductor, just stay on the engines, I can handle this, right? He'll come out, make the cut, and watch you shove back the whole 9 yards, right? So, if he has to work on that equipment, meaning he needs protection, like he's going to tie a handbrake or something like that, he's got to get protection, just like any of us do, right? How's he going to get it? First of all, he's got to communicate with the crews. Yeah, NARS 1234 utility guy is going to get a go-between, right? That's all it is, a job briefing, okay? Now, just like anybody else, if he's in between that equipment, they got to stay with the locomotive. However, in this case, the engineer doesn't necessarily have to stay with the motor as long as someone is in it, okay? Okay, how do you get off of the crew? How do you get away from that crew when the work is done? Lawrence.
Requirements when work ends. A utility employee is released from a train or yard crew when the utility employee notifies the designated crew member that the work is completed. The designated crew member notifies each crew member that the utility employee is being released. The designated crew member releases the utility employee from the train or yard crew after each crew member acknowledges this notice.
So in a nutshell, you get off of the crew the same way you got on. Okay, 3-step process. Tell the crew you're done. Conductor's going to notify the engineer or anybody else on the train. Utility employee's getting ready to leave us. And then he releases you from the train. He does all that, you're good to go. Okay. So utility employee jobs are very good jobs, by the way. You get paid probably the same rate of pay as a normal conductor in the yard. So they're pretty good jobs. If you ever get in a location where you can do that. So that's it for blue signal. Okay. Really not that much to it, and it's cut and dry. Conductors do not mess with blue flags. Conductors and engineers do not go by blue flags. Okay, they're pretty high profile things. Okay, so that concludes this. Ready to start another one.